And we're back, Necromancer134 here, yet again with another video. I feel every time I start that intro, I sound like I'm not happy to be back, but I am. I'm very happy to be back. I'm glad you guys are watching this, and I hope you are glad too. This tutorial is going to be going off my original video, where I showcased my top 3 piston house features. So far, it doesn't matter which order you went in. But if you're coming from the lockable door one, that one should have been pretty short. It wasn't very in-depth because it's a very simple concept. This one is going to be a little bit more in-depth because there's more of a need to know the redstone behind it. But let's get started. So the idea was that you would have a room on each side. Okay, so just pretend that this is a bridge to a room. But you don't want a huge house above ground, but you still want to have some stuff underground. So, bam, hidden entrance. You'd go down, you go into your room, you know, all that jazz, have some fun. Yeah, so that was the idea, and one of my subscribers requested I did a tutorial on it, so that's why I included it, and that's why we're doing it right now. So let's get into the redstone concept behind it. Okay, so the redstone concept behind it is extremely simple. I'll start with the very basics. We're going to go into logic gates. Okay, so logic gates is just different type of circuits that you do that would basically create a signal. So this one right here, everyone I'm pretty sure knows how to do this. This is just an input gate, just because it's a straight input. Now the next one we're doing is a NOT gate, which is right there, which is basically, you set up a redstone torch. Boom, 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 boom. You know, I already have it set over here. Let's just do this. Okay, you set up a redstone torch, and then you have to apply power to it. See, a redstone torch is always on. It's always giving this signal. That's why this redstone's being activated. But if you put power into a redstone torch, it'll turn off. Hence the term NOT gate. Now the reason why we need this is because the pistons are going to, the sticky pistons are going to pull back this floor when they open, which means that we're going to need redstone torches because initially we want the device to be on, even though when we're turning it on, it turns it off. It's kind of a weird concept, but just roll with it and we'll get through this. Just a few pointers with redstone torches if you don't already know. Redstone torches deliver signals every which way, but not diagonally. Also, again with that thing, you cannot put power into it. This is basically an out signal. You cannot put energy into an out signal. That's why if you're ever going to turn it off or become a NOT gate, you need to have power, or you need to have the torch facing directional. See, now the torch can't go backwards, but it can go left, middle, and right. Okay, so when we power it on, you can use a switch, like so, which will turn it off and on. Or, if you want, you can also just use a redstone signal. Now this works with repeaters or any other redstone you want to use. It's all the same. Okay, so now let's move on to the fun part. I'm actually going to build a very small section of this so that I can give you guys the best view of what you're going to have to do or what it's going to look like. For starters, I'm not going to build it as big. I'm just going to build it a 2x2 bridge. Okay, so when starting out, you have to decide how big you want your bridge to be. As you can see, I like my bridges to be 2. But if you wanted, you could have it just be, oh, sorry, wrong block. You could have it just be 1, where you would walk off. But for the sake of this video, we're going to do 2, and if you want, you can always just do 1. If you're doing 1 row, you don't need both sides for the pistons to pull. Oh. Okay, so you're going to start off with this. This is the very, bottom line design. You're just going to cut out as big of a hole as you want, and slap down your pistons, and you have to make sure that it's 1 block away from your bridge while in off mode, which is it being retracted. You're then going to want to dig around a little bit. A lot of redstoners that, if you guys watch, will... Oh, this is from a previous take that I did. We'll just not worry about that. Anyway, so a lot of other redstoners, if you watch, they'll make their design and then they'll make it extremely compact. Now, that is, it's definitely a challenge and one I don't usually take. What I like to do, and especially if you're starting out, what you should do is you should dig around and give yourself a lot of room. And also be prepared to light up your area, because I cannot tell you how many times I've built a serious contraption, something breaks, I go inside to check it in the walls, and then a creeper bombs me and blows up all my redstone. But, yeah. So after you have your torches under your pistons, which will make your pistons go out, oop, time. You will want to start digging behind. You're going to want to leave 2 blocks, don't worry about that, 2 blocks in front, or I mean behind the torches for space. And this is for the circuits. What you're going to need is you're going to need 2 repeaters and then redstone to connect those 2 repeaters. The reason why we use repeaters is because you could do just a direct current like we showed, and that will turn it off. However, with redstone, if you put it there, it'll connect, and it will look like it might go this way, but it doesn't. It curves, and it doesn't hit this side at all. So that's why, in order to do this, we need repeaters, because they will stay in the direction that we want them to go. Now, if I would like to flip this switch, we can test it out, and voila. Okay, so that pulls it back. Now we have to do just the same exact thing on the other side. Nothing to see behind the iron blocks. Okay. And then, again, same thing as I said before. And I always like to test it out just to make sure. Voila, that works too. So now all we need to do is just to connect the circuits together. It really doesn't matter where you go. Oop. You just have to make sure that obviously you're not running into any other devices, or that you're not... Sorry. Or that you're not... what am I looking for? Just messing up the circuit, I guess. I don't even know what I was trying to say. Just lost my train of thought. Unfortunately, because of the laws of the redstone torch, if we put one here, it'll power itself. And, which will turn it off because these are not powered. So we have to dip instead. It'll go straight down, and this won't even touch powering it, which is good. Okay. Oh, just doing a lot of the same stuff. Okay, so now that we have that connected, if I slap down a torch here, boom, works. And stays on. Huh. Okay. Yeah. Having some technical difficulties. See, yeah, okay, there we go. See, you have to be really careful sometimes, especially with the last update that just came out. I don't know if there's some bugs in it, but I have noticed some of my contraptions not working the right way. Some blocks will be powered when they're not supposed to be, and yeah. So if you're doing this now, just make sure that you leave 2 blocks of space right in front of the redstone torch, just like this. Okay, so now that this works, we have to decide where we want this to be. So, I'm going to open it up so I can get out. Okay. Let's say we want, first of all, you're going to cover it up. I'm going to leave one side open just so we can see how it looks. And let's say we want the lever, let's put it right there. Okay, so now what you're going to do, some more redstone magic. Ooh, wait a minute. Might not be able to do right there. Yeah, let's do it right here instead. The reason why we wouldn't be able to do it right here is because the circuit will A, run into this circuit, and B, run into this piston. So when it turns off, this redstone will still power this piston. It just won't work out. Okay, some cool things about redstone is that if I put a block under a block that's being powered, oh, what the heck? Okay, it'll turn it on. Redstone generally powers if generally powers just one block. So per se, I do this right. However, it powers this block, which will then power other things. So if I was to put a repeater, the power going into this block will be dispersed out between these blocks. It's very good, very nice. Well, it's a basic idea that you're just gonna have to know if you're gonna want to make quite a few different things. But let's move on. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, all we need to do is just take out that block, and bam, we're actually done right there. See how easy that was? Now what you're gonna want to do is pretty the place up. So again, we're just gonna pretend that this side is closed. Um, An unfortunate thing, if you saw the locking video, is you can cut off circuits by putting a block above it. See how that circuit's not there anymore? I'll turn this on. Boom, cuts off the circuit. So we cannot put a block right here because that will cut off the circuit. So you're gonna have to put a block right there. Really, same thing I had to do in some of these blocks. But yeah, so just make sure that things look symmetrical or so. Just trying to make it not look suspicious. But let's give it a whirl. Boom. And then after that, all you need to do is just set your stairs. And we're not going to worry about that. That's not really there. And bam, then you're into your room. Hidden entrance. You're done. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I will have links to the other tutorials and the main video in this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you like, rate, comment, and subscribe. I also hope that you hope for things that I hope for. And yeah, thanks for watching.